Okay, hello friends and welcome in CareersTalk, where we invite industry experts to share their wealth of knowledge with all of us. And today we have Rajesh with us again. And today topic is going to be very interesting and very useful for all the Scrum Masters. And the topic for today is how and what's the role of Scrum Master in digital transformation journey. Friends, we have seen lot of different sessions in the past based on the interview and this and that, but this is something which is totally unique and which every Scrum Master should know about it. So thanks one more time, Rajesh, for giving your time today and sharing such a great session with us.
Thank you, Sunan, and thank you for inviting me one more time. I really appreciate that. And as usual, as I mentioned, you're being a great service to the Scrum family. So with all your good content and everything, I really appreciate that. So in this session, what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about uh, the Scrum Master role in an agile transformation journey, or we can say like, what does a Scrum Master? How can a Scrum Master be successful in those organizations where the organizations are planning for transformation, planning to move towards agile, right? That is the context I want to talk about, because I worked in various organizations, and I have enabled the transformation. I've been part of the transformation, and I wanted to share my experiences, and how a Scrum Master can be successful in his or her role, especially when you pick up a job in those organizations which are moving towards this. We're going to talk about that briefly. Again, just to set expectations, we will try to talk about Scrum Master role in the Agile transformation. We'll try to focus just we'll try to focus more on the Scrum Master role in the Agile transformation. We'll try to talk more content on that side versus getting deeper into transformation journey. Transformation then is a bigger topic. It's a massive amount of context. A lot of players are involved in it. A lot of faces are involved in it. There's a whole journey towards it. We're not going to get into the entire end-to-end transformation journey detail, but I will try to explain, try to put forward as much as possible at a high level what is a transformation journey. That we will talk about. But we'll try to focus more on the Scrum Master and how the Scrum Master can be successful. Okay. So let me know when you're ready. I will start sharing my screen, and then
Please
you
go
guys
ahead.
can look
Please
at
go
the
ahead,
content.
Rajesh. Please go ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you. And let me share my screen. Share screen. And let's say entire screen maybe. And let me know when you can see my screen, Sina, just to confirm.
Yeah, I can see 6 9. Yeah, F5. Great.
Wonderful, wonderful. Talk, we can pick up some pointer here. Okay, great. And wonderful, great. Thank you once again for joining this session, and welcome. I start with this session with this slide because it is very, very important that every context, every process, everything that a role do in an organization has different perspectives to it. Depending on the situation, depending on the organization, their culture, there is some customizations in the roles or what they work and how they work and all that. So in this session, again, I wanted to emphasize clearly, all that you're listening from me is my experience, my way of executing things, or the things how I executed in the organizations where I worked and where I have driven success in it. So please be mindful about it. And let's go ahead. In our last session, we spoke about a Scrum Master role in an Agile in motion you know, organizations. In that session, we spoke about knowing your organization, knowing your stakeholders, knowing your team, knowing your product, understanding the current process and process gaps and whatnot. Again, we spoke about the Scrum Master sprint, that sprint one, sprint zero, whatever the naming convention is, depending on what you want to choose. Um, in that sprint zero or one, for you, as a Scrum Master, what did you do? What can you do? How can you set yourself for success? Something we learned in our last session. You're welcome to go back and look for my part one, so you'll understand how these things work. But in the same call, we spoke about the next session, that key to success in our organizations, kick-starting agile transformation journey. So let's get started. Role of a Scrum Master in an agile transformation journey. That is something we have learned today. Okay, what is a transformation? What is agile transformation? Right? Generally, in organization, depending on the current process, it could be waterfall model, it could be something else depending on what they're using. If they're willing to move towards agile, if they're trying to transform their organization way of doing things into an agile mindset, then definitely that is something we call it as agile transformation journey. Part of the agile transformation journey, there are multiple definitions to it, but just to go with the standard, Scrum Alliance or any of the standard definitions, it is of adapting, it is of applying the principles and values of Agile Manifesto and introducing flexibility, speed, collaboration, communication, cross-functional way of executing things, right? And at the same time, what is the goal of the transformation? When an individual or a team, when they follow these principles, when they accept and adapt these practices, how their mindset evolves in terms of executing things, how their mindset would be in delivering the work in a speedy way or in a regular intervals of time with a agile mindset, right? Again, creating more value in less amount of time, creating more value in an incremental way of delivering things. So that's called of agile. That is called as agile transformation. And again, there is a whole process to it. It is not simple that, hey, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do the agile. Let's understand the Scrum framework. Let's get it done. No, it is not that way. It has a lot of process to it. It starts with the whole organization coming together and understanding what this transformation is going to be all about. For that, the leadership has to take initiative in preparing the organization, in giving that transformation pitch to each and every individual in the organization. And then leadership team then will set goals for all this across the board, saying that, hey, you know what, we are going to adapt this agile, we are going to transform our way of executing things into an agile way, and these are the goals we're going to set up. The goals could be we're gonna execute this in an increments way. We're gonna execute this in certain lines of business, but not everywhere. Or maybe we're gonna execute this all across the organization. By this time, we would like to see the results coming through. Some kind of a goal setting has to be happen, right? That's step one. Step two, building a roadmap. Roadmap is all about identifying the goals clearly, going to the next level of understanding of the goals, understanding the success metrics of the this transformation, understanding the vision of it, and identifying clearly what would we do so that we can quickly succeed. You know what, when you're adapting a new thing in organization, you want to make sure the initial proof of concept or the initial step should be successful. Only then it creates confidence in the organization. So you need to make sure you're identifying those initiatives or projects or lines of business where you can actually start adapting this, so you can show the success. You will have higher rate of success, so it will set an example for the rest of the organization to adapt and feel confident about it. Similarly, timelines also, right? We set up timelines. Let us say we're going to do this transformation in the product development area. So we're going to set up a 90-day plan, a 100-day plan, and then within this 100-day plan, we are going to adapt the agile framework, agile way of executing things, or a certain framework, Scrum framework, and then deliver the results in 90-day plan. So that kind of a roadmap has to set. It's again, roadmap is a bigger discussion. We can talk about it later in our subsequent calls as necessary. And then creating teams. You need to start identifying teams. You need to start identifying the product owners, the scrum masters, and development teams. You need to start building those teams. Once you build those teams, and then you start training them in terms of values, principles, frameworks. If you're adapting a Scrum framework, yes, let's start adapting the framework, giving training about the framework, understanding the roles, understanding the ceremonies. A lot of training will go into this particular phase. And then once you're done with the training, execute the sprints and keep checking them at regular intervals of time, right? So this is in a very high level understanding of transformation. You can find the same information in multiple ways. In multiple ways you can find this, in multiple terminology, in multiple directions or whatever. I have seen this content being distributed in multiple different ways. So yeah, you're welcome to read through different ways of transformation. The context is the same thing. It's a nomenclature changes, right? But this is something I wanted to keep it simple for you all. What includes in the transformation, all right? Now, where exactly Scrum Master fit into this agile transformation? Obviously, the step number 3, create teams, is going to be part of that. Identifying a team, is going to be a Scrum Master in one or multiple teams. But then there are 3 areas where we can actually see a Scrum Master can play a bigger role. A Scrum Master can be a key personnel in these 3 different phases that I'm highlighting right now. Let's go in detail what those things are, right? Generally, if you talk about Scrum Master, we all know what Scrum Master avatars are. Scrum Master as a mentor, Scrum Master as a teacher, coach, change event, facilitator. We have seen multiple definitions of Scrum Master or avatars of Scrum Master. That's pretty standard, absolutely, right? When you are part of a Scrum team, you need to perform all these responsibilities as a teacher, as a coach, as a facilitator. That's standard. I'm not going to get into the Scrum Master, detailed responsibilities, at least not in this call. But those are the basic, those are something, a standard avatar, standard responsibilities of a Scrum Master, right? Facilitator, mentor, coach, change agent, and all that. But in this transformation journey, apart from what a Scrum Master should be doing, what else can Scrum Master be part of? What else can Scrum Master take responsibility of? Come forward to set himself or herself to success, right? That is what we're going to talk about. So if you look at this transformation journey, especially the last 3 phases, training, run, and check, most of the times the transformation journey, when it comes to training, the organizations will hire an agile coach, because this is for the first time the organization is adapting, embracing the transformation journey, and so they need somebody who can coach all across the organization and guide them towards adaptation. You need to understand my English terminology. Guide them towards adaptation, right? If you look at Agile Coach works, trains at enterprise level. Agile Coach supports multiple Scrum Masters or all Scrum Masters in an organization. Focus transformation at an organizational level. At the same time, if you look at the duration, agile coaches are not permanent. It depends on the organization, that's a different topic. But ideally, they are being hired for limited period. They will set a goal for the agile coaches. They will draft a plan and then execute that plan in terms of coaching the entire enterprise to adapt and start moving towards agile way of executing things. Whereas Scrum Master is more of a team level focus. Scrum Master will be responsible to make sure the training is good, or even Scrum Master can take responsibility of the team that he or she is working in, or teams they are working in, and start training them. Most of the cases, Scrum Master supports one team. Again, depending on the organization, sometimes Scrum Master maybe again, I'm not trying to go away from the agile, standard principles or way of executing. But ideally, there are organizations where one Scrum Master will be scaled across multiple teams as well. But generally, supports one team. Focus at team level, and Scrum Master journey would be throughout this transformation. In fact, even after transformation, they'll continue to support the initiative. They'll continue to support the engineering executions and all that. So this is the difference between an agile coach versus Scrum Master in agile transformation journey. Agile coach plays a major role in it because they are the people who's going to set the entire organization, who's going to train the entire organization, create that confidence, and enable everyone, including the Scrum Master, to start adapting the agile way of executing. That is what the difference and the role, how they actually be playing in this transformation journey. Now, quickly, we spoke about transformation. Now, let's quickly talk about adaptation. What is the difference between adaptation versus transformation? Transformation focuses on a organizational level. It is more of embracing the agile mindset and adapting the agile mindset and executing things in an agile way and being agile. That is transformation. Adaptation is nothing but adapting the framework, right? It could be a Scrum framework, it could be anything. You pick up a process, you pick up a framework and start adapting that, enabling it, and start using it. That is what adaptation is. The reason why I mentioned that, as part of training, you're training on a certain framework. As part of executing, this is where you are, whatever the framework you have chosen, this is where you're going to adapt and start implementing. And of course, training is also an adaptation. Obviously, if you have chosen something, but generally you will start implementing, right? That's why I gave an example of adaptation versus transformation. Again, this is a one more quick slide to understand what is transformation. It takes sometimes years also to accomplish. The organization structure will be rewired. The change is at the organization level, absolutely at the organization level, right? Adaptation is not as complicated as the transformation. It is more of an, choosing a framework and start implementing it, start getting trained and start implementing it, right? That is what the difference is. Now, the reason why I brought this is, let's go back quickly. We spoke about transformation journey. We spoke about where agile coach falls into it and where Scrum Master falls into it, team level versus enterprise level. Now, once we start adapting the framework, there are multiple, methods available in the market. By the way, one of the method is open space agility. This is one of the method I have reviewed, evaluated, and I'm very familiar with this. Um, and again, you can choose various methods available in the market. Definitely, this is one of the method I wanted you to go back and review this very interesting method. It will guide you through the step-by-step process of adoption. And it also sets up the 100 days of enterprise agility. What do we do in the initial 60 days? What do we do in the last 30 days? And what happens in the initial 60 days? Who are participants? How does the leadership preparation happens? How does the training happens and coaching happens? And likewise, if you move towards the goal, how this evolution of teams happens, how their adoption happens, and all that, you will be able to understand this. Again, this is just one of the frameworks, one of the methods available in the market as part of you would say it's a skeleton, it's a platform, it's a method which you can evaluate when you're adapting in agile framework. Right. So, what are the success metrics for a Scrum Master in Agile transformation journey? It is a great opportunity for you as a Scrum Master to be part of Agile transformation. Not many people get that opportunity, but if you are getting that opportunity, it is an amazing opportunity. You should grab it, right? Participate in this transformation journey, be part of the transformation journey, and if you get an opportunity, you can actually extend your support in terms of even training teams. You can extend support in terms of helping the agile coaches also, in terms of helping the organization as well. So you need to move forward, you need to put forward, you need to take the challenge, and be part of that overall enterprise level training. Again, the reason why I've very clearly specified agile coach versus the scrum master, not many times a scrum master get an opportunity to train or to deal at the enterprise level. But this is an opportunity. If you can show confidence, if you can show that you're willing to contribute to the training, willing to contribute to the transformation journey, be part of the transformation journey, that would be a great opportunity, right? Again, coach for achieving self-organized teams, and always try for achieving greater results with this training that you're doing. Some of these things are key for you, to kind of set yourself success as part of transformation journey. It is, again, I wanted to summarize this. Agile in motion, you are being hired, you have a scrum team ready, they are decently trained or they understand better. So you jump in, you understand the gaps, you try to fix those gaps and start working with them as a scrum master. But in the transformation journey, there is no scrum framework at all. There is no presence of agile mindset. You are starting from day one. You are setting that mindset in the organization. You're identifying the teams. You're training the organization and the teams, and then you are one of those pioneers in setting up a success for adoption of agile way of executing things. So it is definitely a great opportunity. Definitely embrace that. You also saw some of the tools and techniques or methods that I have shown you, like open space agility, for example. You can adapt. You can read a little more on that and understand better on those adaptations. If you are a Scrum Master and then trying to be part of transformation journey, this content will be very helpful for you. All right. That's pretty much. I'm Rajesh Kumar Vardiboina. You are welcome to reach me on my LinkedIn. Uh, in our next session, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 6 C's for delivering excellence. This is focused more on the development team. In a Scrum team, you have a Scrum Master, you have a product owner, and a development team. This 6 C's for delivering excellence is focused more on the development team. You, as a Scrum Master, what can you tell? What can you train? How can you actually set, some kind of a culture in the team, so that the development team is growing towards becoming more self-organized and achieving greater results. And to achieve that excellence, what are those 6 C's that you need to train? What are the 6 C's that you need to make people aware of? Is something we're going to talk about. So that's pretty much, Sunand. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, Rajesh, I have one or two questions, if you allow me to ask. Can I
Give me
ask a
one.
couple of questions, Rajesh?
Sure, please go ahead, Sunand.
Okay, so you have unshared your screen, but that's okay. I was wondering, with respect to agile transformation, you have displayed those steps. Those are pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I was just wondering, and I was always curious when we do all this agile transformation, right? And
mhm,
you have mentioned about matrices over there, two I think in the beginning and the last, right? And it's very
mhm,
important to measure like how as a organization we can say that now we are at least transformed, right? So what are the key
mhm.
matrices? Basically, you touched upon on those things, but I just want to ask you, like, if you can just share based on your experience, like how you measure that the success of agile transformation. If you can just share your thought on that.
Definitely, 100%. See, there are multiple key performance indicators. Now we are talking about the organization level. We are not talking about the team level or anything to do with it. Because if you look at this already agile in motion organizations, when you join as a scrum master, the first thing that you can do, or obviously you can set yourself a challenge is how can I create a better culture? How can I create a better environment? How can I create better self-organized teams? How can I achieve greater velocity, right? And how can I maximize my capacity utilization in conjunction with velocity? Ideally speaking, your very common metric that we speak about is the velocity. How can I improve velocity from sprint on sprint, right? That would be a standard metric we see, burn down chart, burn up chart, and all those things. When it comes to agile transformation, this is a bigger discussion. This is more of an organizational level. It boils down to number one, the mindset of the people. What mindset we had so far in terms of executing engineering. So far, let us say we have been following waterfall. Waterfall versus agile. Waterfall, you don't see the quicker results. You have to wait months or months, depending on the project, at least months, couple of months to see the result. But in here, you're able to see the result quickly in 2 weeks time frame, 4 weeks time frame, right? That's number one. Stakeholder satisfaction. How does the stakeholder satisfaction has been improved? In a waterfall model, you have to wait for a long time to understand the feedback coming from stakeholders. Versus in agile, you are able to see, you have an opportunity to go back to the stakeholders regularly every 2 weeks or 4 weeks and get a feel of what they think about it. So your communication with stakeholder get improved. Your satisfaction of overall customer satisfaction has to improve. That's your goal, obviously, right? That's your CSAT has to improve. CSAT means the customer satisfaction. And then definitely in terms of return on investment, uh, you won't see the return, the value of the investment for a long time if you're adapting an agile way of doing things. But in here, you're able to see the value every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks. So there are multiple things like this because now we are talking at enterprise level. We are not talking at a team level velocity level. We're talking about enterprise level. A lot of factors will come into it. A lot of KPIs and metrics will come into it. Maybe this is a good idea actually. It is a little extensive topic, but it is a good idea. We can actually do a session on this. What kind of metrics we should capture and how that metrics look like actually. That is something we can actually address in our subsequent ones. I don't want to extend this session, bigger one. But yes, there are a lot of things we can talk about.
Great, great. Thanks, Rajesh. I think we are good for this session, and I'm looking forward for 6C. Uh,
For delivering
your
excellence.
yes, absolutely. Thanks a
Absolutely.
lot,
We'll,
Rajesh,
we'll
and I'm
look
I'm
forward.
really hopeful that a lot of people have gained at least some insight with respect to Scrum Master or what's the role of a Scrum Master in a digital transformation journey. And I think this session will be a kind of a quick walkthrough for them. They just browse it and they will get at least, not deep, but at least a high level overview. And
Correct.
then later on, they can always deep dive into that. So with
Correct.
this perspective, I think this is a really a nice and quick session. Thanks a lot, Rajesh, for that. Yeah,
Thank you, Sunan. Really appreciate. Thanks a lot.
thanks. And
Take care. Bye.
everyone, if you like the session, please hit like and don't forget to subscribe. Careers Talk. So with this thought, bye everyone.
Bye.